Namaskar and a very good evening to one and all. I am Kajal Mehta, host for today's evening. We all know that today we are gathered here to celebrate Teachers' Day. I would like to give some information and introduction about the forum and the platform UBI, United by Ink, was founded on 2nd February 2018 by Mrs. Sapna Shivani Kekre, who has authored Os Ki Bunde with a very clear objective in mind to bring and provide global platform to all creative minds. Today, it is thriving international forum with 8,500 artists of different categories. UBI has so far published 5 anthologies and has given many writers an opportunity to publish their work for the very first time. UBI's initiative Open Mic, which was started in 2021, has recently completed 101 episode, and today we are doing 105. Apart from this, UBI provides a free blogging platform, facilitates pre and post publishing, marketing and distribution support, and translation and proofreading services. UBI's annual events such as UBI Fest, UBI Hindi Utsav, UBI Inked Marathon provide opportunity to learn and grow to all age groups. UBI's Learning Lab program is on a mission to make learning easy through workshops and short-term courses. In short, UBI is a platform where any form of literary and creative expression finds its place and appreciated. And as today we are celebrating Teachers' Day, I would like to quote Henry Ford. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young, I unquote. Now we get challenges and learning opportunities through UBI, Open Mic, and various other events. I thank Mrs. Sapna Shivani Kekre for this opportunity, and I wish everyone present here, teachers and students, a very happy Teachers' Day. We as teachers, we know what all challenges we faced during COVID, post-COVID, and now also the world is changing, educational scenario is changing, and we are facing so many challenges, but it is our mission to overcome that. I now invite our first participant who believes that a bond between a teacher and a student can't be erased, because a true teacher who imparts not only lesson but also teaches with love and kindness, and that remains in the mind of students forever. She is in teaching profession since 2006 and finds solace in writing. She is a blogger by choice and learner who considers learning is an integral part of teaching. I invite Shri Rupa Kundu Sen from Kolkata.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for the invitation, Kajal, ma'am. And yes, I am from Kolkata, but at the moment I'm in Bhopal. Since 2009, I'm here. So the poem that I would like to recite today is an ode to my previous institution. And the name of the poem is Her Ode to St. Lawrence. Lawrence, Kolkata in the year 2006. A young lady teacher found a heartwarming mix. She stepped into a boy's world, so bold. Little did she know their stories would unfold. With patience and care, she nurtured their minds. In the classroom's embrace, a connection she finds. She didn't demand respect, but earned it each day, teaching them values that still light their way. In those young hearts, she sowed seeds of grace, helping them grow in life's challenging race. Dignity and respect, like treasures they hold, for the lessons she taught them were more precious than gold. The years have rolled on, but the memories persist of a teacher who in their hearts firmly exists. In her guidance and love, she found their place. In the boys of St. Lawrence, she left a lasting trace. Now, in distant days, they still adore her so, for the love she bestowed continues to glow. In the annals of time, her legacy is pure, a teacher who made their hearts feel secure. In the hallowed halls of St. Lawrence's grace, a bond was formed that time can't erase. For in that year of 2006, a tale was spun of a teacher who taught not just lessons of love as one. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me the chance to pay a tribute to my previous institution. Thank you so much.
Truly well described emotion and so relatable to all those who passionately teaches to young hearts and minds. I now invite our next speaker who has been felicitated with many awards. She is a teacher, writer, editor, poetess, and translator too. She has been felicitated with many awards, and to name a few, Shakti Shiromani, Kavya Shiromani Award, Global Achievers Dr. Ambedkar's Award, Poetic Star Award from Oman, Best Author of the Year 2022 by Asian Excellence Award. The list goes on. She has 8 books published on her name. I'm honored to invite such a versatile speaker and writer, Mrs. Manjula Asthana Mahanti. Ma'am, please.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद काजल जी, आपने बहुत ही सुंदर ढंग से मेरे विषय में कुछ कहा और मैं बहुत धन्यवाद कहती हूँ आपको इस बात के लिए। और कोई भी व्यक्ति कुछ भी कार्य करता है तो उसके कई पहलू नजर आते हैं हमेशा, और वो अपने आप को भिन्न भिन्न तरीकों से जाहिर करने की, एक्सप्रेस करने की चेष्टा करता है। तो शायद मैंने भी ऐसे ही किया है और आज मैं यहाँ हूँ आप सबके बीच, और यूबीआई की तरफ से मुझे ये अवसर दिया गया है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देती हूँ, इस पटल को नमन करती हूँ और आप सबको मेरी ओर से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। मैं कम से कम 40 साल तक तो पढ़ाती रही हूँ, कॉलेज से शुरू करके, डिग्री कॉलेज से शुरू करके हाई स्कूल लेवल तक, तो मेरा इस बारे में काफी अनुभव है। मैं कुछ दोहे और मुक्तक प्रस्तुत करना चाहती हूँ इस विषय में, शिक्षक के विषय में। तो इस प्रकार है। जन्म दिया जिसने हमें, जन्म दिया जिसने हमें, दी शिक्षा और प्यार, सर्वप्रथम गुरु माँ प्रणवत बारंबार। दूसरा दोहा, गुरु के चरण पखारिए, गुरु बांटता संज्ञान। गुरु के चरण पखारिए, गुरु बांटता संज्ञान, साम दाम दंड नीति से करता शिष्य सुजान। गुरु का स्थान विशिष्ट है, शिक्षण उसका कार्य। गुरु का स्थान विशिष्ट है, शिक्षण उसका कार्य, ज्ञान नीति आचार्य से गढ़ना है अनिवार्य। छात्रावास गुरुकुल का अंतिम दोहा, छात्रावास गुरुकुल का विविध अनुभव भंडार, गुरु प्रदत्त सहज ज्ञान, सहपाठियों का प्यार। इसके बाद मैं कुछ मुक्तक सुनाना चाहूंगी। पहला, उत्तम गुरु की सदा होती यही पहचान, उत्तम गुरु की सदा होती यही पहचान, पुस्तकों के साथ में दे व्यावहारिक ज्ञान, शिक्षा ही बनती उनकी मार्गदर्शक सदा, गुरुवर का करते सम्मान, गुरुवर का करते सम्मान, वही कहाते शिष्य सुजान, वही कहाते शिष्य सुजान। दूसरा, विकल्प मिलेंगे बहुत मार्ग भटकाने के लिए, विकल्प मिलेंगे बहुत मार्ग भटकाने के लिए, संकल्प एक ही काफी है मंजिल तक जाने के लिए, तैयार करें शिष्यों को हर बाधा से टकराने के लिए, गुरु ही बताता वह अवसर, गुरु ही बताता वह अवसर, कुछ कर दिखलाने के लिए, कुछ कर दिखलाने के लिए। और अंतिम, शिक्षक वही जो कभी बनता है गुरु, शिक्षक वही जो कभी बनता है गुरु, तो बनता है प्यारा मित्र कभी, तो बनता है प्यारा मित्र कभी, थमा देता है कभी हाथ में स्लेट, थमा देता है कभी हाथ में स्लेट, तो कभी रंग भरी कूची, सिखाता है पढ़ना मनन करना, हंसना कभी कभी मनोरंजन करना, सिखाता है पढ़ना मनन करना, हंसना कभी कभी मनोरंजन करना, पर महत्वपूर्ण है छात्र को योग्य कर्मठ इंसान बनाना, छात्र को योग्य कर्मठ इंसान बनाना, परिवार समाज और संस्कृति का गौरव बनाना, परिवार समाज और संस्कृति का गौरव बनाना, दायित्व निभा सके अपना, दायित्व निभा सके अपना, शिक्षक वही महान, दायित्व निभा सके अपना, शिक्षक वही महान। धन्यवाद। तो शिक्षक को भी कुछ ना कुछ निर्देश पालन करने होते हैं। हम सब कुछ उम्मीद करते हैं छात्रों से, तो कुछ हमें भी देना होता है उन लोगों को उसी प्रकार से, तभी बात बनती है। लेना देना समान ही होता है, और साम दाम दंड भेद सब अपनाना पड़ता है। जिसको जो छात्र जैसा हो उसको उसी हिसाब से मोल्ड करना पड़ता है। तो ये गुण जरा शिक्षक में आते हैं हमेशा। शिक्षक खुद को खुद जान जाते हैं क्या करना है, और अगर नहीं करना चाहते तो वो असली शिक्षक नहीं है मेरी दृष्टि में। अपना दायित्व समझना ही चाहिए।
सही कहा आपने, बहुत अच्छे से आपने शिक्षक की भूमिका, जो कभी गुरु का काम करके पथदर्शक बनता है, कभी मित्र बन के अपने विद्यार्थियों के सुख दुख बांटता है, उनके मन में क्या चल रहा है वो जान के उनके प्रश्नों का निराकरण करता है। और आपने एक मुक्तक में तो यह भी कह दिया कि विद्यार्थी, अच्छा विद्यार्थी वो होता है जो शिक्षक के लिए सम्मान रखे। तो यहाँ आपने थोड़ी विद्यार्थी की भी भूमिका बता दिया। गुड स्टूडेंट, अ ट्रू स्टूडेंट always has respect for his or her own teacher.
It's mutual give and take. If
Yes.
the student is loyal and careful and respectful towards the teacher, teacher takes the full care. It's teacher's duty to extract everything from the student, and it's student's duty to cooperate with the teacher. Then only can we get the desired results.
Yes, ma'am. सही कहा मैम आपने, बहुत मजा आया दोहा और मुक्तक सुन के। अभी हम एक प्रश्न पे चर्चा कर सकते हैं
जी।
तो प्रश्न ये है, थोड़ा ब्रेनस्टॉर्म हम कर ले, थोड़ा हम इंट्रोस्पेक्ट कर ले जो आजकल के हालात है। हाउ वेल टुडेज एजुकेशन सिस्टम प्रिपेयर यंग माइंड्स फॉर रियल वर्ल्ड चैलेंजेस। तो आप सब आपके विचार रख सकते हैं, हम डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं कि हमारी जो सिस्टम है पूरे वर्ल्ड की, क्या वो बच्चों को तैयार करती है जो रियल वर्ल्ड में जो चैलेंजेस वो लोग फेस करने वाले हैं। क्योंकि जो वो पढ़ते हैं उसके अलावा उनको और सारी चुनौतियां आगे उनके आगे खड़ी होती है। So what is your take on this? Everyone can please contribute and let us discuss.
अगर हम लोग बात करना चाहेंगे इसको पूरे वर्ल्ड के नजरिए से, तो फर्स्ट थिंग तो each country has different rules and regulations and curriculums about their student, so it cannot be similar everywhere. And moreover, their social and cultural backgrounds is different, so they take it in different manners. So that is the base thing which differentiates all the students. But yes, curriculum should be made in such a manner which is not found right now. Curriculum is changed in such a manner that it's more objective. It's not subjective anymore. So objective है इसीलिए they gain very short knowledge. Plus teaching system and marking system all are different. So they can get many marks. एक टोकरी भर के मार्क्स मिल सकते हैं उनको, मगर टोकरी भर के ज्ञान नहीं मिलता.
अनुभव, उनको रियल जो challenges होती है उनके बारे में how
Yes.
much aware they are. You know, fancy is another thing. They fancy a lot, I think. ये
Exactly.
लेकिन when
Very
they
true,
go
ma'am.
into the real world, things are
True.
completely different, and they sometimes end up, sometimes some
That is
not
why,
not
yeah.
not all, they end up, you know, with disappointment. Okay, oh, this is, we never thought it will be
Yes,
like
very
that.
true,
Yes,
ma'am.
Shri Rupa ji,
Kajal,
please.
ma'am, but you
Yeah.
know what? Yeah, thank you so much. What thought I had is like, if you look at the new NEP 2020, they're emphasizing on critical thinking, problem solving, practical skills, more than memorization and standardization. So, if that is the case, then I think children will adapt to the evolving needs of the society. And not only the academic knowledge is important, but the practical skill to deal with the real world is more important. So maybe that will help them more. So we really can't say now, 10 years down the line, if we follow the curriculum and we venture into the new situations of life and new, types of professions that are coming up. Not only are people engineers and doctors, there are many more and they're coming up. So then maybe we can be in a position to say whether we have justified it or not. But the only thing is transaction. It all will depend on how we expose them to this new curriculum, to this new standard of education, and how do we also include world education into the Indian curriculum? Because, the global curriculum is very important from all points of view. We should not only prepare from the Indian point of view, but the child whom we prepare can be thrown anywhere into the world and come out, solving the problem.
Exactly.
Problem solving is most critical
Exactly.
these days. Yeah.
Student can be fit in each and every atmosphere, each and every curriculum they should follow. That is the thing.
Aisha ji, would you like to comment anything? Your opinion?
Yeah, I would
your
like
views?
to. Yes, I would like to agree with Shrupa ma'am that now the new curriculum is designed in such a way for the holistic development of the child. And teacher is not a teacher these days. He or she is a multitasker. You are connecting the curriculum with the real world. And in some way, if a teacher is able to justify to help the child connect the curriculum with the real world, to understand, be a better part of the world, the curriculum, that will help the student the most.
Yeah. Priyanshi, would you like to say something? Because you are the student. You can tell us something from your point of view.
I think that when we talk about the education system, like schools which are really developed, like career fairs, where you get to know about the career options. But in many schools, that's not happening. And even the, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, you're audible.
Even there are some taboos and like some thinking that haven't changed from the past times, which are seeming to be like taken to talk about. So I think that's a really positive impact of how the education system is changing and focusing on things that are like really impactful in practical life instead of just being about studies. So I think that's really important as a change in education system. Thank you.
Thank you. Kirti ji, would you like to say something?
Well, I guess Sri Rupa ji and Aisha ji covered most of the things what is in my mind. And moreover, I think focusing on the practical thing will make them more confident. What I feel in the current children is
Current curriculum, yeah.
current curriculum is they're not ready to take in failures, or they're not ready to take in a small, even if it is a loss of a half a month or 1 month. Let apart the mark, they should be able to take the failures in the stride, because that builds the confidence. It's okay to make mistakes. So that is thing which the real life practical lessons would teach them. So along with the curriculum, yes, the focus should be there on the practical aspects as well.
Thank you. Now we had a really good introspections on today's education system and how well it prepares students for real world challenges. I now move on to the next participants. I now invite Aisha Naseem ji, who is a mathematics teacher and who loves to express her emotions and feelings through poetry. She loves writing short stories and poems on current issues, and she considers herself teacher. Not only that, but also a potter. And teacher has various roles to play during, her or his journey. Aisha ji, please.
Thank you for your kind words. Thank you, everyone. And I'm honored to be here. I would like to start with the difference between a traditional and a 21st century teacher. A teacher in the past was dominated and was a dominated person, and what teaching learning process was her forte. And the learner was a mute spectator, sitting in a particular place and getting the knowledge that the teacher gave. In traditional teaching, the one who teaches actually controls the learning environment. Children of different caliber are not treated differently. Every child is different, as we all know, and they all have different tastes, preferences, and abilities. The teachers help out and played the role of the instructor, the decision maker, and did not accept any innovative method. I personally believe that a traditional teacher faces more challenges than the present one because they are not adapted to the situation and follow the lecture method, which only meets the demand of some levels of students. The fundamental component of a traditional class is discipline. That was very important tool, which was believed to be helpful in effective learning. And it is easy to complete the portion as planned. So traditional teachers, they communicate the rules and expectations in the class, such as behavior, respect, authorities, peers, etc. And the students are mostly not allowed to interfere during the class. This is my experience, and most of you will agree with it. The class structure was permanently restricted, and there was a restricted physical and psychological freedom, as it gives more importance to discipline. And discipline means complete silence in the class. The students are constantly forced to sit in their places, limiting their physical classroom activities. A strict schedule is set during class hours, and the movement was absolutely restricted. But in contrast, the modern teacher takes on the role of a facilitator, which we are, where children are more dominant than the one who teaches. In the modern world, students with an interest and knowledge in a particular action are actually encouraged to get more support from teachers. Teachers in the 21st century are no longer called teachers. Instead, they are facilitators, they are mentors. They help the student in the learning process. A teaching learning process that is no longer teacher-centric. Rather, it is child-centric, and which is a happy thing to happen. Modern teachers do not restrict movement in class. Clarifying doubts, asking questions are always encouraged. The teacher is like a friend who is always there with the students through their journey and motivates them to be self-directed learners, helping them to clarify their doubts, exploring the subject, and in a happy, value-based environment. A modern educator always thinks education is a collaboration and welcomes student suggestions. Students can express their thoughts and ideas and contribute to the learning environment. A 21st century educator, as we all are, always looks for new technology to simplify efforts and enhance students' learning. By understanding the relevance of innovation, modern educators employ innovative methods in their classrooms through online platforms to give good experience. Innovative teachers are always aware of what is happening around them, especially in technology. Building a good relationship with parents and engaging them in their child's progress is again a necessary part of this curriculum. So I would like to describe myself as a teacher. So I would like to say that my evolution as a teacher, yes, I am a teacher by profession, a task not easy as it was. I have evolved in such a way that I am the best version of myself. A modern age teacher is an inbuilt multitasker, empathizes with the students' feelings, adapts oneself to the specific age group, communicates in the most sophisticated way, listens to the students with patience and empathy to provide them with the best solution ever. I'm a motivator, I'm an environmentalist, a lifelong learner, a critical thinker, a decision maker, an IT expert, and much, much more. I'm not just a teacher. In today's scenario, the students are smart. Rather, they are smarter than the teacher and adapt to as we have to be the role model, a teacher has to be a step ahead of them. They need a mentoring from a progressive learner, not from a dictator. It's true that I'm evolving, I'm improving, I'm improvising myself and adapting new ways to keep myself updated. I'm happy to be a facilitator and a mentor. Thank you so much, dear friends.
Thank you for letting us know the various roles teachers they have to play. They have to be innovators, as you have said, because today we can't just say, no, I mean, I will not learn this new tools or device. We have to be open to learning. Learning is a continuous process. We have to be friendly and we have to emphasize with them. A wonderful take on teacher's journey. I now invite 15 years old girl who has been writing poetry since 2020 Christmas. She believes it's God's grace and she promises to contribute more into writing to show her gratitude. I now invite Priyanshi Thakur to share her thoughts. Priyanshi.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So the poem which I'm going to be presenting is called An Ideal Teacher. This is a version of how I teachers and chosen a type of teacher to like, not understanding how it's just a personality that makes a difference. The teachers have all got a heart of even water for the children to swim in. This is also the reason I've included the poetic device irony the most in my poem. A teacher, a word as delicate as a hard metal, looking for nothing but the step to be better. As soft as a diamond and as hard as a cloud, words they don't speak, they radiate it clear and loud. It's not the lesson, it's the knowledge they want to share. It's not the using the minimum they can spare. But minimum is anything but low, because the luminous intensity it has as the bare minimum glows. It isn't easy for her or he how we assume their job is a cup of tea. But the salute used in the tea isn't sugar. Their tea goes sugar-free. It's the control on the temper at times we refuse to watch, because what we want to notice is the list of their flaws. Isn't it funny how it's their whole given to us as a prefect? And their work is criticized. The words, they couldn't even clear the concept. A blame, a dirt on each of their nerve cell only shows how long a being can drop their self. It radiates within themselves, we can tell. Because a teacher isn't a person who asks for respect clear and loud. Respect is a strong and silent sound. how some convince the student's mind, and at the same time, how some only get disinterest in students they find. The irony is all teachers give their whole as the best, but the difference of a being depends on who higher raises their chest. A teacher has it within herself, it's proud it's a gain, and it's the power they share their nerve even if in their pain. And that is the teacher we wish to have. But this is the teacher we wish to but have it forget that as within every teacher we eye catch. It's the understanding of being towards the senior honored. When we assume it's we they trying to corner. What if it's me whom she found special instead of trying to corner? What if it's we whom she found special willing to make an effort to make us better? Thank you so much.
Wonderful. The way you have recited and the way you have used various literary devices, I'm amazed. I really enjoyed what you have said. A lot of visual imagery and auditory images are there. Congratulations. Keep writing. Priyanshi? Yeah. We can
Yes,
now.
ma'am. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Since Priyanshi is here and I too, feel a bit nostalgic, let us share the most cherished moment of our life, when we were student. So I would like to ask you, what was your most cherished moment in school, if we can share here. Manjulaji, would you like to share? We all have some amusing experiences as students.
Yeah, I'm trying to recollect.
Okay. You must be having many, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, many, but which one is the prominent and which one I should share here? That's what I'm thinking. Let me think. Give me 5 minutes to think.
Okay, because we should all have some memories of our school life, right? And that memories keep us connected.
Memories,
yes.
many memories.
That memories.
And in the school life, each day is full of good moments and happy moments, and we cherish them lifelong. So, which one to say? Each day we had new experiences with friends, with teachers, with the studies, with results, and with different extra activities. So, which one to say only one? It's not possible to find out only one.
Only one, yeah, many. But
Each
since
day,
we have limited time,
was full fun-filled. Each day was full of many experiences and new ventures. Everything was it was a very difficult roar of experiences, I can say.
Yeah,
So
that is also true. That is true. Not just one. Yeah.
each day,
Kirti ji, yeah.
was a new day.
Yeah.
Each day was a new day. So it's difficult to find out.
Anything special you would like to share? Any memory which just pops up, in your mind right now?
Couple of things come up in my mind.
Yeah, to share with us.
So I was and I am a big cricket fan. So I still remember I studied in a convent, so it was an all girls environment, and we had very less access to TV those days. I mean, at school at least. Nowadays, we do have option of checking on internet. So I still remember going up to the gate to meet my PE sir, who stayed close by, asking sir to go home and check the scores and come and let us know. I guess it was a World Cup happening. And sir was kind enough to go and find out the scores and come back and tell us. And after that, 11th and 12th, I joined a co-ed school. And that was under the Kerala State Board. And for all those who came from the convent, that atmosphere was completely different, wherein we had the strikes and the buns. Those are from Kolkata and Kerala, they would relate to the student politics that was prevailing those days back in the communist areas. So we had instances where we ran out from the school, ran through the paddy fields to go and catch a bus to reach home just to avoid getting hit by a stray stone or a stray lathi that is coming our way. And I am a good speaker, but I never tried speaking in my mother tongue. And my 12th standard school gave me an opportunity wherein I first was little very skeptical. I was scared for the first time to speak on stage because I was speaking in my mother tongue, which I am not so used to. I was confident to speak in Hindi or English. So those are all small, things that keep popping in my mind the moment I think about school and think about my teachers. So I'm still in touch with my first standard teacher, which I cherish the most. She's there on WhatsApp. She keeps messaging me. So any message, any birthday wish coming from her, it's really close. So I keep telling my students that some bonds that you make with your teachers are unforgettable, and keeping
Forever.
in
Yeah.
right, I am still in touch with my first grade, my second grade, my third grade teachers who still remember every minute detail about me, every minute
So,
detail.
the same thing I would like to tell you. It was my convocation day, and I got medals and many other prizes for securing highest marks in the college. And when I came down from the stage with all my book prizes, medals, and all those things, my school principal, intermediate school principal, she was there. She came running and just lifted me in her arms and kissed me. She is my student. So that moment I never forget.
That's true.
It was a lovely moment. I always remember, cherish that moment.
Lovely. Anyone else? Aisha ji,
Yes,
Shilpa ji.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
Basically, school life is the golden period of our lives, and we cherish each and every moment. Right from eating the tiffin with our friends, going to the sports field, waiting for the favorite teacher. Like I was in all girls school, so we used to wait for our English teacher, and she was sister. She whenever she enters the class, and there was a sigh of relief in the class, and then the maths teacher, who was the scariest person ever. So these are all the memories. But because of her, it's my math. I can give the credit to her. She has worked on with the basic concepts of maths, and everything is a learning. And when we go back, we think about the school days, and everything is a memory to cherish.
Anyone else?
Yes, I too have beautiful memories, as all of you are sharing. I would like to just take up a few, of which the history class I remember of grade 5. We had Mrs. Philip, Mrs. Meena Philip, and we are still in touch with each other. She's in Kerala now. So she just walked into the class, and we thought that history lesson would be boring. She just picked up a chalk and she started drawing the dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. I still remember that moment. And she said, "Come on, open your books and start drawing." And we were quite confused. Has she come for art? Has she come for history? And then we started loving the subject. Though I've never taken history, but I still have, someone asked me that day, ki, "Aap jahan pe bhi ghumne jate ho, historical monument mein jate ho." I said, yeah, maybe because deep inside me, I have a deep love and respect for architecture, for historical monuments. And, it's not what they make you learn, it's how they make you learn, and that makes a difference. That really makes a difference. So there have been so many teachers who've been inspiring all through my life, like Mrs. Charlotte we had for Instant Xavier's while I was doing my BEd, Dr. Shubin Nag and all. They were like fantastic teachers. They never taught in class, they taught us how to learn. So those moments, and there are some eureka moments that really make you remember. When you think about how you will be emoting yourself, you just close your eyes and think and draw inspiration from such people who you've come across in your life. And then perhaps you can be even 1% of them. That makes a difference. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when you said about history, I remember my history teacher. She recently passed away. She used to come to class without the book. Her name was Miss Jayanti, and she just stands in front of us with her hands crossed, and she'll start. And till now, we remember each and every minute detail that she taught, be it the year of French Revolution or the storming of Bastille prison. So that the class just relives in our memories. And the way my first grade teacher taught us how to write, leaving one finger gap. I started teaching first grade using that example. And I told ma'am, when I got in touch back with her, I told her, you remember the way you used to teach us? I use the same technique in my class. And she was like, you still remember all those? Those are all unforgettable moments.
Yeah.
And it makes you a little teary-eyed. I'm actually getting choked. So yeah, thanks.
That is the bond created, between a teacher and a student. And as Sri Rupaji has said, how a teacher teaches, that makes a difference. Learning students can do, but how we teach them makes a real difference. Yeah.
Just one add-on.
Developing results, relations with the students.
Yes.
First you develop the relations, then you teach.
Yes.
Then they will be accepting whatever you are teaching.
Absolutely.
Yes, Manjula ma'am, I highly agree, because if they love you, they will love your subject. Absolutely true.
Just one thing to add on here.
Yes,
it's not
yes.
only your teachers, you are inspired by your teachers. There are people around you're working with. They can also be your teachers. A
Yes.
special mention about Dr. Amlan K. Saha, our current principal. And he has taught us so many things like how to be organized, how to be humble, how to be, specific with things, how to deal with the people around you. So he is again a teacher. I have learned so many things from him. And I think people sitting here are going to agree.
Absolutely, I
Yes,
really
yes,
resound the
absolutely.
I
dignity
will agree. He is
and
a
the grace.
Around everybody, around us, so many persons are there.
Yeah.
We imbibe something or the other from them.
Even our own children, they can teach us a lot.
Yes.
They can teach us a lot. So thank you very much. Now let's move on to our next speaker. She is an enthusiastic educator and a passionate writer who loves to read, write, and speak. A graduate in computer science, and she started teaching in 2015. The pandemic kindled the writer in her and nurtured it so well that she has published her solo book, poetry book, in January 2022. I now invite Kirti GV to share her thoughts on Teachers' Day.
Thank you so much, Kajalji, and thank you for the opportunity. So my poem is a take on what a teacher feels. Okay, and so here it goes. The poem is titled, And I Surrender. The love that was shared, pure bliss it was, and I surrendered to that love. The trust they had on me was more than expected, and I surrendered to that trust. They believed in me so much that they fought with their parents for me, and I surrendered to that belief. They wrapped me with respect that was truly from the little hearts, and I surrendered to that respect. They smothered me with their loving eyes that hugged my heart tight, and I surrendered to that hugs. The bond is so strong between a teacher and a student, and I surrendered to that strong bond. Thank you.
Yes, we surrender definitely to their love. And here I remember one one moment, or you can say just one something that happened, and that really touched my heart. And I still, cherish that moment in my life. It was year 2000, and my birthday. On my birthday, I was absent because my brother-in-law's wedding. But my class, they prepared everything. They knew I would come back after 2-3 days. So they wrote a very lovely message on the blackboard and told all the subject teachers not to erase that till I come, read and I erase. And they bought 2-3, jewelry sets and show it to my staff. And they asked them to choose one for me according to my taste. When I went on Monday, everything was on my table, on the board, blackboard, everything was written, lovely message. I started crying. And one student, he hugged me tightly and he He wished me happy birthday. That moment I still cherished, and I'm really proud that I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher because I have created bonds for years to come. Then one day, suddenly, 2011 or 12, one Facebook message came. Teacher, I'm very happy that you are on Facebook. Do you remember me? I still write the G, English letter G, the way you were writing. So, I mean, these moments really makes us so happy. And
This type of experience I also have.
yeah.
Very, very old students, they are connecting with me now. And they are telling that, ma'am, you used to do like that. You used to put on saris like that. Everything they remember about me. And they are so happy. Now they are connected with me. So every day they are giving something or the other thing. There is lots of remembrances now, I can say.
Yes.
And one tiny baby I remember right now, when I was the principal of high school, and I used to go for the rounds. There was this kinder section also. There was a small girl. Once she was crying, so just I patted her and talked to her. After that, she became so fan. Whenever she used to see me, keep running and hold my legs. And sometimes she used to come into my office also. And she never used to enter, just standing at the gate and near the door. Then I said, come in. Then she used to come and आप क्यों नहीं आई मैं हमारी क्लास में आज मैं आपके लिए वेट कर रही थी आप क्यों नहीं आई इतना छोटी सी बच्ची so lovely. So all these things are always remembered.
Yeah, they really, makes you feel so happy and so touched.
Okay, going ahead, I take this opportunity to introduce our next participant, our host for today, Kajal ji. She, by profession, is an English teacher and who also loves learning piano. She expresses herself through words, and she published a book recently with her father's poem in Gujarati. Writing gives her freedom, is what she says. And I welcome you, Kajal ji, to this August gathering.
Thank you so much, Kirti ji. Today, I want to share one poem, not written by me, but written by Dr. Hem G. Jinot. And this poem was distributed by our missionary Father Manucharil on Teachers' Day, long time back when I was working at Rosary High School, Vadodara. So that day onwards, this poem is with me, and every Teachers' Day, I read it, and it makes me, it makes me so happy, and it reminds me my role as a teacher and my responsibility as a creator of the climate in the classroom. So I would like to share that poem with you all here. Poem by Dr. Hem G. Jinot. I have come to a frightening conclusion. I am the decisive element in the classroom. It is my personal approach that creates the climate. It's my daily mood that makes the weather. As a teacher, I possess tremendous power to make a child's life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or humor, hurt or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis will be escalated or de-escalated, and a child humanized or dehumanized. Thank you. So this poem, whenever I read it, reminds me how I should behave in a class. Students, not only students, but a teacher's duty also to behave. We should not be a tool of torture, but an instrument of inspiration. So every Teacher's Day, I read this poem myself, and I promise myself that I try to be an instrument of inspiration. Thank you. Now we have some time, so we can definitely discuss one more question about do you think standardized testing is the most effective way to judge learning? Because I feel that sometimes a student may not be a grader or a star grader every time, but in real life, sometimes he becomes more successful than the one, who are A-starer or who were A-starer. So what is your take on that? And after that, we can, yes, anyone? Anyone wants to, since we all are teachers here.
I feel, Kajal, I feel standardized testing is not, I don't think it would cater to everyone, because my personal experience, I have seen children, or I myself as a person, cannot by heart and say something, or by heart and reproduce something. And when it comes to standardized testing, wherein you are asked to write, many children are not very good with writing, but they are vocal with their answers. So they are actually losing out just because they are in the rat race of scoring marks. So I feel it should be more of a conclusive thing rather than having a standardized pen and paper format. For me, that doesn't look to be very conclusive.
All right.
Yes, same here,
Thank you.
ma'am,
Yeah.
Kajal ma'am, because it is important to recognize that these tests have limitations. As ma'am has said, that they are not at all fully effective to learn, to understand that, whether we are judging the child in the right manner. Because number one, the focus can be narrow, and one size fits all standardization really don't work, because children come from different backgrounds, they come from different needs, and learning styles are also different for students.
Yes.
So teaching to test the pressure performance that the children have to learn and give the test is very specific, and it is like not developing critical thinking, and you don't understand whether the child deeply understands what you have taught in class. So it's like going and giving what you have already learned, and it really doesn't play a very important role.
Yeah.
So the limitedness of the standardization is definitely high, and it causes a lot of stress and anxiety to us also in the kids. So it's not very healthy. That's what I feel.
Yes, I do agree with that, because every child is different. And I also believe that every child is capable, valuable, but the needs are different, as both of them they have mentioned. And accordingly, standardized testing should be there, not common for all, because all children cannot perform equally, right? Manjulaji, since you have long experience, what is your take on this?
Manjula ma'am, you're on mute. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Sorry. That's what I was telling, that each child is different. They have got different abilities, and they show them at times. Sometimes they show in their academic career and academics, they can show. And few are more practical, and they work better in practical conditions. So we cannot say that if a child is A grader, he will be always A grader, or A grade is going to dominate his personality. It's not like that. They have got different traits, and they have got different abilities. They have got different ways of working. So they can be better in other ways rather than academics. There they are much different.
Yes, true. Now, what we all went through COVID phase, Sri Rupaji has written a lovely poem on that. So I would now invite her to read that lovely poem. Let's hear her. Sri Rupaji.
Thank you, Kajal ma'am, for being so gracious and giving me a chance again. I hope I will not take
pleasure.
too much.
It's
Yeah,
our
I hope
pleasure.
I don't will not take too much time. It's got a little add of
After
humor
this we
because
can,
suddenly it happened that we were all thrown into the wind with
Yes.
COVID. We were so unprepared. I remember one fine day we go to school and we were told that, within the next 3 days, you have to be prepared to teach online. And we were prepared. Our school made it a point. They were very strong from the point of view of, tech education. So they prepared us. And we were absolutely flawlessly, we were on the floor, but we faced a lot of funny situations on which this poem is about. Yeah.
Okay,
So
please.
the poem is, Oh, we are prepared. In the world of Teams and Zooms, we gather around. For online teaching, we are quite renowned. As soon the schools shut their doors to physical classes, online we all explored. But trouble lurked. It was a novelty in learning, but quite absurd. In this digital classroom, we all were so perturbed. First, there was the mute, that tricky button. No sound at all. It almost was like an all-consuming glutton. Students talking, but we couldn't hear. Oh, the joys of online learning were so clear. Next, there's the camera, switched off mostly from the student's end. Teaching a dark screen with clapping and smiling icons, perhaps that's the trend. A parent in shorts running across the room, or few, a student's forehead, or just half a view, especially during the exams. They tried to fix it, but oh, what a fuss. Online teaching's a comedy, it's clear to us. And then there's the chat, a constant distraction. With messages flying, it's pure interaction. You can repeat that, they often implore. Online teaching's a challenge, and that's for sure. But we have mastered it by now and know all glitches, how to pin the troublemakers and how to fix the hitches. But through all the troubles, we teachers still persist with patience and humor, with determined fist. Online or offline, we'll teach with delight. For the love of learning, we overturned the plight. So here's to online teaching. It's quite the ride, a hilarious adventure with nowhere to hide. We laugh at the mishaps and keep our cool. In a digital world, we have embraced the new tool. Thank you so much, UBI, for giving me a chance again. Thank you so much, Sapna ma'am and Sham sir, and especially Kajal ma'am today for being such a gracious guest. And it was so wonderful to hear each one of you out here. It was indeed a delight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This reminds me, Sri Rupaji's poem reminds me of my experiences while teaching online. Sometimes when you open the link and you go to your classroom link, you see some unfamiliar names or the identity. So you wonder who is he or who is she. So he or she may be from some other class. And like Three Idiots, that Rancho, wherever learning happens, go there and learn. So yeah, so all that also happened with, I think, everybody, right? We faced a lot of problems, but we overcame it, and we definitely will overcome many problems and challenges that are on our way. And with this positive note, we just say thank you to UBI for providing an opportunity to all of us. Thank you, Ms. Sapna Shivani Kekreji, Shyam Sundar Sharma ji, for giving us this opportunity. And it was a wonderful experience today to be here and to connect with you all.
Really, it is good, very good experience.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure to listen to all of you. Different
All of us,
experiences, different views about teaching and about teacher and about students.